Last month, we lost a great friend of India, Mr. Shinzo Abe San, the ex-Prime Minister of Japan. As we all know, Japan is a very strong diplomatic and cultural friend of India. And as we miss the great leader of not only Japan, but the entire world, we are keeping a small remembering the life of Mr. Shinzo Abe San session tonight before we commence the concert. And we are very happy that Mr. Matsutaro Yamasaki San has kindly consented to speak on this topic. He is the Deputy Consul General of Japan in Kolkata currently. And sir, we look for your kind words.
So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. First of all, on behalf of the Consulate General of Japan in Kolkata, I'd like to express my deepest gratitude to the people of India for their heartfelt condolences following the recent sudden and tragic death of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. I would also like to thank Musicea Art and Cultural Council for giving me an opportunity to talk about former Prime Minister Abe and his relationship with India. Former Prime Minister Abe was a statesman who believed in the power of the people of Japan and restored Japan's vitality. He was also a world leader who dedicated himself to the peace and stability of the international community. One of his great achievements related to India is that he initiated the free and open Indo-Pacific concept through his articulation of the confluence of the two seas in his famous address in the Indian Parliament. Abe was the Japanese leader who truly loved India and recognized the importance of this country for Japan even before he became Prime Minister. Abe's relationship with India goes way back to 1957, when his grandfather and former Prime Minister of Japan, Nobusuke Kishi, visited independent India on an invitation of India's former Prime Minister Nehru. He was given the honor to address a large gathering of Indian audience from the wall of the historic Red Fort, where only the Indian Prime Ministers addressed to the nation on every Independence Day. His grandfather's close ties with India shaped Abe's perception towards India during his formative years of life. During his first time as Prime Minister, between year 2006 and 2007, one of his most important foreign policy initiatives was to rejuvenate Japan-India relationship. In his address at the joint session of the Indian Parliament, he declared that the two countries have the ability and responsibility at the same time to build a broader Asia. Abe returned to power again in 2012, and this time he focused on expanding Japan's ties with India. His groundbreaking security reforms included legislation to expand the role of Japan's self-defense force, which paved the way for the signing of the acquisition of cross-servicing agreement with India in September 2020, whereby the defense forces of the two sides can reciprocally access logistic facilities. As far as our economic relationship is concerned, the first high-speed railway corridor project connecting Ahmedabad with Mumbai was signed during Abe's regime in September 2017. Japan International Cooperation Agency and Union Railway Ministry signed MOU, where Japan agreed to fund the project partially without an interest. Abe said, "If we work together, nothing is impossible. I will do whatever I can do for India." There are many more projects achieved during Abe's administration, but the time is limited, and therefore, please allow me to talk now a little bit about the multilateral relationship. To realize free and open Indo-Pacific, quadrilateral security dialogue, generally called Quad, was initiated by Abe in 2007 with the support of the US, Australia, and India. Abe stepped down as Prime Minister in that year, and the whole initiative stopped. However, Abe emphasized that the idea of Asia's democratic security diamond, comprising the 4 nations, and it was in 2017 that Quad was rejuvenated largely due to the continuous effort of Prime Minister Abe during his second time. Since 2017, Quad meetings have been held regularly, and most recently, in May this year, the Quad summit meeting was held in person in Tokyo, attended by US President, Indian Prime Minister, Australian Prime Minister, and the Japanese Prime Minister. During this summit meeting, the 4 member countries pledged to meet challenges for ensuring rule-based maritime order, including in the East and South China Seas, and strongly opposed any coercive, provocative, or unilateral actions that seeks to change the status quo. Now, let me move on to Abe's relationship with Kolkata. Prime Minister Abe was the first Japanese leader who visited Kolkata. During his visit in August 2007, he attended the inauguration of Rabindra Okakura Bhavan, an India-Japan Cultural Center in Salt Lake. Also, he met a son of Justice Pal. Justice Pal is well known in Japan as he gave a dissenting judgment in favor of Japan at the Tokyo tribunals after the World War II. He also visited Netaji Research Bureau. These visits indicate his appreciation for the fact that Japan's relationship with India during the early 20th century was shaped by Japan-Bengal relationship. I'd like to conclude by saying that during Abe's tenure, Japan's relationship with India underwent a massive transformation as Abe, with his close friendship with Prime Minister Modi, was able to elevate Japan's relationship with India to special strategic and global partnership. Currently, Japan and India are cooperating in a variety of fields. As this year marks the 70th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic relationship between Japan and India, we truly hope that relationship between our countries will be further enhanced in this special year. Thank you very much for listening.